Hello, everyone. It's good to have you here. If, however, this live is going out, I'm not really sure. I'm hoping you can hear my microphone, but it seems like that isn't working. When you want things to work the way they want it to, especially on a live, everything was working fine until I went live. But good to have you here. There's a few things, and maybe the microphone has changed right now, that I have coming up for you, and I want to show you some really cool things that I have planned for this live. I am here in the Media Studios in New York, and I really wanted to make sure I recorded this video while I was here. So coming up on this show, I'm going to show you how to use AI to amplify profit in your business. The whole sequence from defining your business goal to amplifying profit and making revenue the focus, how to make sure you get good sales conversations. Check out some of the previous episodes. But also today I'm going to talk about some of the PwC. They've done a really great study on what's happening right now with artificial intelligence, and it's really important for all of us business owners to know what those things are. And then I'm going to show you some really cool tools, a really good tool that I think you should know and learn about. All right, let me share my screen and let's start playing. If you don't know, you can check out all the episodes of this show edited. You can find them on Amplify AI podcast. So you can search that wherever you get your podcast, favorite podcast. So go find that. Let me see if I can just move this to a different screen. Nope, maybe not. So I have all these windows open that is not letting me close. Give me one sec. Okay. All right, so today is all about creating profit. And one of the things that is hard to do is how to use AI to actually grow the business, because there's all these really great people showing amazing AI tricks, but they're not necessarily growing the business. And if I've learned anything from the last few days of being here in New York, that artificial intelligence is like easily one of the biggest conversations we're going to have, and people are using it more and more than ever. And if we're not really prepared on how to use this correctly, it's not going to really work to grow the business. So it's really important to understand that when we are using artificial intelligence, it is for a certain reason, and it is doing something to actually grow the business. So there are a few things I want to cover, but one of the first things I want to talk about is this PwC study. So it's a study that has been done, and they've kind of done a few things to really put this in perspective, especially from a leadership perspective. So there are certain things that I want to highlight here. Number one is 73% of next gen believe that generative AI is a powerful force for transformation, but many sort of question the ability of their family business to capitalize on it. This is what I just spoke about, right? One of the things that is definitely the biggest problem is, okay, we can see the use, but how does it actually grow the business? There's 70% of business leaders believe that generative AI will significantly change the way their business creates, delivers, and captures value. Now, I need you to understand that these are like a CEO survey. So they've gotten this from a whole bunch of global CEOs, and this is comes down the ladder. So it kind of affects us all on how this plays out. They do recognize that it's early days. It is going to affect the 60% of the world's workforce, which is massive. There's also this idea that how innovation is turbocharging family businesses, and how next gen or generative AI is going to help those family businesses to move forward. I also have to mention, while we're talking about AI in this sense, that if you go and scroll all the way down the end of this, it says, definitely download the PDF, but if you want PwC to help you unlock certain things, this is like the next step. So big companies like PwC are definitely following similar content strategies that we all should be following, and that's why I definitely recommend us all create really valuable content, because this content does actually help us get seen. So going back to this article, they have this great graph here. So let me just break this graph down. So the question here is, how strongly do you agree or disagree with the following statements? There are clear roles and responsibilities for those involved in running the business. So the current generation feels like there's and next generation is 63%. There's clear governance. So what they're trying to see is whether the next gen is less positive than the current generation on issues related to the clarity of roles, governance, and digital capabilities, because they all in turn lead into whether AI is going to actually help or not help. Very few are actually using generative AI in their business. So they've not even started to explore it. When you think about how many people are already using it, there's still like really early stages. There's a lot of like really massive issues, especially protecting trust when it comes to artificial intelligence. The risks that are involved is massive. If you can damage the brand potentially by using this the wrong way and just implementing AI for the sake of implementing AI. That's why governance is such an important thing. So this is a great article that I recommend you read. It is the link I will share. If you send me a DM, I'll share that with you. But it's a great study to understand exactly where to put your effort and how and who is right now paying attention to AI. Okay, now that was the news. The next thing I would love to cover is how to amplify profit. Now, being here in New York and doing this, especially, the Vayner media offices, empathy, I see empathy everywhere around here. Empathy wines just on the rack there, but empathy in the meeting rooms, empathy all over the place, and the real interesting thing when it comes to all of that is how much effort needs to be really put into the revenue and making sure that AI is contributing to the revenue stream, right? So just having artificial intelligence and just doing it for the sake of doing it is not really going to help. So we want to be able to use it for good. And not only that, there's an element of today's tactic that I really want to highlight. Let me just go to sharing my screen. Hopefully you can see my screen. Yeah. Okay. So the idea here is that to make sure that we don't fall behind when it comes to leveraging AI, especially when it comes to empathy. That's why I wanted to talk about the empathy phase here. Now, when we are trying to talk to certain audiences that are if we are a lot further on in our journey than they are, the empathy factor is hard to negotiate. So using AI to help us remember what it was like is definitely something that you should look at. Also, we can use artificial intelligence here to grow revenue, and if that's what you deliver, if the transformation you deliver is growth of revenue, then you got to be able to use that and personalize it for the people that are within your business. So I wanted to show you like this 6-step process that I believe for you to amplify profit up the top. It's if you're using artificial intelligence, making sure you're doing it in a process-like structure and not just implementing it for the sake of implementing it is key. So the first thing if you're going for amplification of profit, is identify what the business revenue goals are first. And now you can use AI to do that in a variety of different ways. You can start with a SWOT analysis and then go into use a SWOT analysis and say, for the next year, my goals are X. This is my revenue goals, and design for me OKRs. What's the objectives and key results for the next year that I have to focus on? So you can identify those business goals at speed using AI. Once you do that, you got to interpret what vital signs you got to measure regularly to know how far away you are from achieving those goals. What are the regular metrics you got to measure? And you can use AI to not only set the goal, but also to collect the data and put that automatically into a spreadsheet so that you're not having to do that manually. Once you have that sorted, then you can start to streamline product sales. Now, streamlining product sales, especially for an artist who wants to deliver an impact to their audience, struggles to come up with landing pages and copy to actually convince this audience that there's this transformation available at the end. So allowing AI to streamline product sales and creating landing pages, thank you pages, emails, sequences, all that at speed is so important. Once you have that, then you can customize sales conversations. So, when you're doing your product sales, there's a really important technique that is called the triage technique, that you're asking the lead that's coming in and who wants to become a prospect before they get into the sales conversation. You're asking them, well, what are the things that you want? What are the things that you're after? What do you have currently? How big is the goal that you're trying to achieve? And when you do that triage, you understand whether this person can be helped immediately, like you can get them a result straight away, or whether it'll take 90 days for them to get a result using your methods, or this person might take a year to get a result, depending on where they're at in their journey. Now, I'm talking about this from any business perspective, because every business delivers a transformation of some sort. So customizing that in your sales conversations to allow the people to understand that this is personalized for them, that's when you use AI. You can do that at such speed. And now if you're wondering, when, Ronsley, are you going to show me all this using AI? I've covered all these in previous episodes. So just go and check them out. Edited episodes of business goals and business vital signs, I think, should be live on the podcast. And you'll see the next few coming out edited. But these live ones, I've already done these first 5. So once you customize sales conversations, then you can use AI to predict revenue opportunities. And I spoke about that in the previous conversation, in the previous live that I did. And then once you have all of that, you amplify profit. And when you amplify profit, you can then use the profit to grow brand, to grow audience, to grow operations, and to grow everything else. And the key to business in general is just making sure that revenue is coming in. Now, when you're amplifying profit, there's another way to look at this. This is my method, Amplify AI, and look out for the book. The book is going to be launched September 13th. Look out for that. But there's another way to look at this, and all the ways are different, and you can use different processes and different methods to achieve the same goal. That's why AI is so good or bad. The best thing about AI, it's easy to do. The worst thing about AI, it's easy to do. So there's another method rather than the 6-step method. You can use the 7-step method. You first identify key business problems and opportunities where AI can drive value. Then you assess your data assets, like what kind of infrastructure and support you have in the AI application space. Then you can develop an AI strategy aligned with overall business goals and values. Then you can, build AI talent and culture through hiring. Then you can start with pilot projects and then use that to scale up, followed by ethical frameworks and then measuring ROI. Now, this is what normally people would say, this is how you implement AI. But for me, I believe implementing AI in this manner that grows revenue and amplifies profit first is key so that you can start to see an immediate return on investment. Try to avoid underestimating the importance of quality data when it comes to the AI that you're using. So when you are asking, when you're saying these are my business goals, make sure that it understands your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats really well. Make sure that AI understands where you're trying to go and how many clients you need to get those goals. So the quality data that you put in is really important. Make sure that you don't expect AI to magically solve problems, without human oversight. And I think that part is also very, very important. There's a whole bunch of really important things that I feel like we all should focus on, but one step at a time. Like, I don't want to really complicate things too much. So I hope that made sense. This is the way you amplify profit. You go through these 6 steps, and at the end you use the profit to actually help the business grow. All right, so that's the tactic. Follow that. But I want to show you Mid-Journey, because you can create some insanely good images using Mid-Journey. And I'm hoping that I should be able to click. Maybe I can't click. Mid-Journey. Now the best part about Mid-Journey is that it is easily one of the best image creation tools that exists out there. The not so good thing about, I suppose, Mid-Journey is that you require Discord to log in. So when you see here Ronsley being logged in, it is logged in through Discord, and I have an active subscription with Mid-Journey, and that's why you can see what you see here on the screen. But I want to show you some really cool prompts. So I'm going to go to my archive, and I want to show you some things that I've created, and I'm going to show you the prompts that I've used to create it, which will potentially help you. And tomorrow I'm covering another more accessible, or the next live session. I don't know whether it's tomorrow or whether it's going to be today even, but the next recording I'm going to cover another image creation tool that's more accessible than Mid-Journey, but easily Mid-Journey will create way better images for you. Okay, so I want to show you, for example, this image. Okay, look at the image first and look how insanely interesting the image is. And I think that's the part I would love for you to understand, how interesting the image is. And the reason for that is this is the prompt. All right, I'm going to read it out. And again, if you require the full prompt, let me know, send me a DM. I'm happy to share a copy and paste of this. All right. Take inspiration from computers and nature and capture a mesmerizing scene with a knolling perspective that emphasizes the symmetrical layout of computer parts and natural elements. Use the shimmering light and dappled light effects to create an ethereal atmosphere that highlights the intricate textures and shapes of the parts, flora and fauna. Pay attention to the color scheme and make sure to use a mixed media style that gives a tactile feel to the artwork. And it produced that, because what I was trying to do here is kind of create this idea of nature and machines merging. I feel like that's where AI fits in. It's an augmentation of our intelligence. It's the merger of these two different types of life forms, silicon-based life form and carbon-based life form. So I was trying to get there, and it's done some such brilliant images that are so interesting. But let me show you some other ones that I find fascinating. Now look at this. This image, believe it or not, this image is created with one word. But one word, one punctuation mark, and one emoji has made this image. And there are other few images, but I'll show you what that is. So all I did was I used an emoji of a microscope. So microscope, a semicolon, and caterpillar. So I'm saying, look, I want a microscopic image of a caterpillar, and look at that. Wow, it's like so phenomenal. They did a few here. That is just ridiculous. Again, such an easy prompt for you to use to create some cool images. All right, now look at this one. This is a business leader in an old sophisticated office talking to a group of her customers. Now, that hasn't come through, obviously. Smiling and laughing while being assisted by artificial intelligence, the old office is juxtaposition with the vibrant and fantastical world that the business leader is immersed in, creating a surreal and emotional image. Now, what I love about this, first of all, is that it's gone business leader and it's a woman, which is awesome. But look at how interesting this image is. Like, I find this image so fascinating. So this is another one. I really love the exploded ones that I've done. Let me find them for you. Exploded image of. So what I'd love if you are here and you're watching all this, if you can have access to any of the comments, let me know what you found most useful so far. That would be fantastic, so that I can do or not do more of these. Check out this, an entrepreneur's room with neon lightings, 32-bit isometric, and it did that, which is crazy. So I'm asking you to imagine these really cool things. Let me show you exploded view because I find that super fascinating. Again, if you see any of these things and you find them that you want me to go back to them, let me know in one of the comments and I can definitely go back. You see how many images that I've been creating, but I promise you, if you just hang on with me, there's a really cool exploded view image that I think you should check out. It's coming. Yeah, here you go. So look at that. You can just look at that image, and I'm saying provide an exploded view of a network, showing the intricate details of its components, capture the warmth of the lighting to emphasize its vintage appeal, angle the view slightly downwards to showcase the inner workings of the network. It's shot during the golden hour. That's why it looks the way it does. Set in a vintage workshop, technical details include capturing the movement of the data, processing, pay attention to the color scheme. So if you see the images it's created from that exploded view, this is an exploded view of a network. It's so cool. So cool. So these are some images for you to think about. Here's another really cool image that has been generated from 4 emojis. A rocket ship, an alien, a planet that looks like Saturn, and also a space emoji at the end, and it produced that. So go definitely check out Midjourney, because you can make some phenomenally real life images that I feel are like second to none. It's probably one of the things that I think are super useful. If you don't know, all edited episodes of this will be found on Amplify AI, but there's a really great episode with Shafat Hashmi that I recorded in Dubai in his amazing house overlooking the water. And he talks about revolutionizing brand identity in the age of AI. It's episode 58. You'll find it on YouTube or any of your famous podcast platforms, I suppose, that you have. Until next time, good to have you here. I don't know how to end this with my face not being seen, but I'll see you in another episode. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you soon. There's a whole bunch of people here live. Oh, cool. Good to see you here. I thought I was alone. All right. Good to see you. I'll see you in the next live. Talk soon. Bye.